Actually, when defending, I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on, Ian. With an intro like that, what more can I say? People deluded, I'm back again. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. I appreciate all the support you lot give me. I'm very appreciative of it all. Again, I hope you're doing well and safe. We're all missing Arsenal, but we're into December now, people. Only a couple of days before we see Arsenal play West Ham. I say couple subjectively. As we know, we're moving closer to January when it will be transfer business, transfer news and things are flowing consistently. As I always say, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. A lot of this will just be talking points and remain talking points. Please do me a favor, people. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're turning your notifications on. Make sure you're checking out my YouTube playlist, especially the transfer news playlist, so you can get more of your fix and doing all the necessary, people. You know, the description has all my social media. And most importantly, enjoy the vid. So enough waffling, enough rambling. Let me share my screen with you lot. Again, let's start here, people. As you lot can see, Facundo Torres. Now, it's quite terrible where Uruguay are concerned. At this moment in time, people, I will actually be doing a watch along across Twitch. Make sure you're following on that as well. And YouTube for Ghana versus Uruguay, where the stakes are high for obvious reasons. Where the World Cup's concerned, Facundo Torres hasn't really been given a sniff. I believe Uruguay are the only team in the World Cup yet at this moment in time of making this vid to score from open play. And he hasn't come from the bench. Now, we all know the MLS Orlando City winger has been someone prior to the World Cup, has been linked with Arsenal, and he follows on being linked with Mudryk, with Pedro Neto, with several wingers. And I mean, whether we sign this individual or other individuals is another thing, but it's fair to assume, you know, following on from the Rafinha interest in the summer, wide areas or wide men or wide targets are areas that Arsenal are looking to introduce in January or the summer, as well as central midfield. Allegedly, people, this I don't know if this person's anyone to really believe, you know, but Talking Ivory, shout out to him, Arsenal or her, or Arsenal Buzz, or Don, all these accounts that get all the Arsenal news, shout out to them because they make my life a lot easier. But allegedly, on the Facundo Torres situation, the situation, as I had already anticipated, is the same. The camp and Arsenal will talk to each other again after the World Cup. His camp told me that they hope to be able to make a formal move when they resume talk. So, you know, again, we'll have to see what happens in relation to him, people. But in terms of the World Cup, you know, we haven't really got to see him as much as we might have seen Cody Gakpo, Kudus, anyone else that's been playing for a move. Away from that, people, Bennacer, again, one minute he's going to sign a new contract at AC Milan, then Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and saving the best till last in Arsenal Football Club have all been linked with him. I've said it before. You know, you look at his passing metrics, the distance he covers, his intelligence, his forward passing. I wouldn't describe him as a complete midfielder, but the 24-year-old is an all-action midfielder. He would fit Arsenal's system like a glove and bring him home if we can. We have to take everything linking us with Italy or Italian-based players with a pinch of salt. Obviously, with his contract talks being on the table, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. His agent or his advisors could be leveraging Arsenal's alleged interest or overstating that to get what he believes his client deserves in terms of a contract from AC Milan. So various reports are saying such. As you can see here, Arsenal are interested in bringing Bennacer back, but there's no meeting scheduled. Chelsea are interested as well. The player will first try to sort out his extension with AC Milan before considering other options. So what does that tell you, people? His first priority is to stay in Milan. Now, he's got a young family to consider. He's got a wife and kid. He's played for Empoli before. He's been at AC Milan for a while. You know, Milan's a beautiful city. He's obviously won the Scudetto, which is the Italian Serie A title. He's playing in the Champions League. You've got no reason to want to leave, but it all depends what's happening. You know, he's lived in London, the law of the Premier League. He'll definitely earn more wages at Chelsea or Arsenal. So you have to take it all with a pinch of salt, people. As you lot can see here, Chelsea and Arsenal monitoring Bennacer renewal talks with Milan. Bennacer and his agent Enzo Rinola are preparing for contract renewal talks with Milan, a situation that Chelsea and Arsenal are reportedly keeping a close eye on. As you know, he's an important member of the team. He's contracted until 2024. He's got 18 months. That follows with Milinkovic-Savic and a few players. So next summer, the summer of 2023, will probably be the last opportunity they have to make significant sums, really. It's been reported his current priority is to sign a new deal with Milan, but he expects a salary of between 4.5 to 5 million euros net plus add-ons, similar wages to Theo Hernandez. Chelsea and Arsenal are both interested in signing the 25-year-old, but have not yet scheduled any talks with his agent. So that means they're monitoring the situation. And again, it's not the time to really discuss transfers, really. It's a lot of game playing. You've got the World Cup, you've got other situations you're looking to handle. And maybe they've been briefed that his first priority is to stay at AC Milan. If there's if his priority is to stay at AC Milan, but they don't want to give him what he's want, then he might seek a move. And that's where obviously we can do what we're doing. I would love him, whether it's him, Tielemans, Milinkovic-Savic, all of these midfielders, all of different profiles and all different ways, but they could add something to the carpet or what we're going on at the carpet. As you lot can see here, people, it's also Raphael Leao's contract allegedly as well. On Bennacer, this article is said Bennacer's contract expires in 2024. His agent was also expiring, and in the end, he chose Enzo Rinola. It's said that he wanted to change agents because he wants a higher salary than the 4.5 million euros that Milan offered him. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool have put him in their sights. His renewal will be an economic battle for Milan, people. So we'll have to see what's going on with him, with Raphael Leao, and anybody else, people. Away from that, we already know we've been linked with Mohammed Kudus. And again, he's played very well at the World Cup, the 22-year-old, enhancing his reputation. And we've heard Arsenal are interested before. But once again, according to 90 Minute, Arsenal are one of several clubs reportedly in pursuit of Ghana star Mohammed Kudus. Apparently, the Gunners have asked about the Ajax attacker's current situation. Arsenal's interest also follows the likes of Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Everton, all reportedly keeping a close eye on him. Allegedly, Everton were very close to confirming his signature in the summer. Jordi Cruyff, who, check out my YouTube playlist, we spoke about it before, was speaking about him as well. So we'll have to see. But all he can do is keep playing well for Ghana, and your club future will take care of itself, people. So he's a quality player. He's a really quality player, and he's got it all to be a much better player. And at 22, he fits obviously what we're doing. We've been linked with Carlos Soler. Again, Google Translate may have not helped me out, people. So if the sentences don't make sense, I know on the best of days I struggle, but it's nothing to do with me. This star that Arsenal wants to steal from PSG. Arsenal are considering transfer for PSG star and former Liverpool target. Arsenal are planning to dive into the transfer market for a midfielder in January, with the Gunners reportedly eyeing potential targets at the World Cup. One of those players, sorry, people, copyright. I don't know why this video started playing. It's trying to hate on the thing. But as I was saying, Arsenal are looking at him. One of those players would be Carlos Soler. The PSG midfielder has started just 4 times in Liga this season, and PSG could sell him for a quick profit, considering they signed him for 18 million. Would you really want to give up already on your time at PSG? And Carlos Soler is no idiot. You know he's joining a bigger team. You're either going to have to play to a point where you're unplayable, but you're not going to get as much game time leaving Valencia and joining a club like PSG, glittered with stars, always looking to bring in stars. But you look at their recruitment, him, Vitaya, Fabian Ruiz would have loved all of these midfielders at Arsenal, people. It seems like there's a shift in recruitment and long-termism sort of thing. So we'll have to see. Arsenal are we've been interested in for a long while, but it says here Arsenal were interested in Soler in 2020, while Liverpool were also hot on the trail of the 25-year-old ahead of his move to Paris. And for whatever reason, he's moved there. Anything can happen in football. You know, you could be at a club for a year and then keep it moving, but I assume he may or may not have a girlfriend or a family, or, just moving from Spain to Paris or France. Do you want to give up on it that easily, your way of life? Things can happen. If he hasn't played enough game time, fair enough. But clearly his lack of game time hasn't, at this moment in time, affected his international chances because he's still in the squad. I would love Carlos Soler, like you've seen me say with Bennacer, Milinkovic-Savic, Tielemans, all of these guys that we're linked with. Whether we're able to get them is a completely different entity, people. Apparently, Gabriel Jesus is drawing interest from Real Madrid. They've been linked with him for 45 million, allegedly. I don't know whether to believe that. Would he want to give up on that already? I don't know. We also have been linked with Carlos Alcaraz, people, and half of Europe, as well as Sevilla, are interested, allegedly, in him. We've covered him before, people. And apparently Wolves are moving close to confirming the 19-year-old signature, which could mean Arsenal and other clubs are backing away, or it could mean something else. Apparently he has a release clause or a termination clause that amounts to about 25 million euros, and its price a few months ago has been between 20 million euros, allegedly, this article says via Google Translate. He's drawn interest from the likes of Juventus, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and PSV are alleged to be other clubs interested in, someone at the elementary stage in his career that's spoken about having, being the biggest talent, excluding Lautaro Martinez, to come out of Racing Club in Argentina. So we'll have to monitor that one severely. I think this article is just reiterating, either Kudus or Facundo Torres. Despite their reported interest, Arsenal could be content with not catching a glimpse of Orlando City winger Facundo Torres when Uruguay take on Ghana in the World Cup. No clue what that means, people. We've allegedly heard we're scouting him. We've allegedly heard Tony Lima, one of our scouts, spoke with him a few weeks ago to go with Edu. It's believed Arteta and Edu are eyeing a January deal. Orlando will likely demand more than the 7.8 million fee they paid Peñarol from Uruguay in January for his signature. So we'll have to see how this one develops, people. Apparently, he's made a slow start to life in the MLS, people, but he went on to register 9 goals and 8 assists in 33 appearances in his debut season, people. He currently has 4 goals and has assisted 2 in 6 cup games and is considered one of the most talented players in the US, people. He also played very well in preseason against us, so it might be one to monitor, people. And apparently he drew interest from the technical director of Orlando City earlier this year. We'll see Fagundo's growth in this league. His understanding of the league, his understanding of the physicality and speed required has been amazing. He's a guy where all I have to say is that the sky is the limit. Kudos to the Will family who helped us make such an investment, because I think it's all paying off today. Tonight, there's more to come from him. I hope we can stay with Facundo as long as we can. And I mean, if they sell him for a profit, we get a player that can bring something to the carpet. Everyone's a winner, chicken dinner, innit? I'm sure you've all saw Declan Rice kind of eyeing up a move away from West Ham, talking about Champions League, etc. Apparently, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United have all been given to me by my sources as seriously interested clubs to sign Declan Rice, and are all expected to make a move to sign him. Chelsea see Rice as a priority signing, the former Cobham Academy graduate. And football's a funny old game of opinions. Released by Chelsea, one of the key players going into the World Cup and the Euros. I'm not criticizing Chelsea beyond the obvious, but it is what it is. Now, all of these clubs need centre mids, maybe different profiles, maybe different requirements. I wouldn't mind Declan Rice at the carpet. Probably a bit too pricey for the sort of player he is. For me, he could go Chelsea. Man United, you could do a lot worse than bringing him to them. Liverpool would be a good signing. It'd be a good signing for all of them. I'd say Chelsea. I would say we'd be behind everybody. And I think Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, probably the front runners. But that's another guy contracted until 2024, people. So hopefully, but as we saw with Pedro Neto and our failed pursuit of Leeds' Rafinha, who's not having the best of time at Barcelona. Maybe Leeds did us a favor not selling him to us. With these Premier League clubs, you put down the money or you don't get whatever. West Ham are going to fight tooth and nail to keep him in it. They probably have to sell him in the summer, but we'll have to watch that one closely. Apparently, Chelsea and Arsenal are interested in signing Pepe from Porto. The last Pepe we signed didn't work out. We have been linked with this lad before. Apparently, he is gaining space in Porto and drawing the attention of big clubs in Europe. Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, and Arsenal are also eyeing up the Brazilians, people. He is contracted until 2027, people. So we'll have to see what's going on in that regards, really. So that's another one. It's a bit boring how always linked with him. Yuri Tielemans to Arsenal transfer reaches now or never decision for Leicester City. Now, we've heard Edu is actually prepared to wait until the summer to get him for free. But with it being January around the corner, Leicester are approaching now or never moment over Tielemans. They are better off picking the never option, whatever that means. We all know his contract is expiring. We all know he could join Arsenal. He might go abroad. You can't rule out a new deal at Leicester. They're trying to do that. I don't think this article is saying anything specific apart from our general opinions on him. This article even said maybe 15 million would be enough. But would you really want to pay? Not that Tielemans isn't worth it. And if he helps us get Champions League football beyond that, after signing in January, why not? But we might already spend, whatever, conservative of 40 million and upwards for Mudryk. You might go and sign Danilo for 20 odd. That takes you to the 60 regions for Facundo Torres or whatever that takes you over it. It's not that you wouldn't find the 50 million, but would you say, considering all of these moving parts happen, that it would make sense to spend an additional 15 million on a player that's going to be for free? Now, saying that, he is 25. I don't think his reputation has been enhanced playing for Belgium. Belgium, like Germany, have crashed out of the World Cup, and Belgium stunk up the place a lot. The golden generation, which Again, Tielemans is only 25. The rest are all 30, but you get the point. I don't think there's anything beyond what we've known here, people. I think the most interesting thing here is the headline. We've been linked with Jesper Lindstrom as well, who plays for Denmark, and he's not really done anything in the World Cup. The 22-year-old Frankfurt man. Again, he's being sought after, from teams in Europe. And this also says Dortmund, Leipzig, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Newcastle are all interested from the Premier League. And he's also eyeing interest from Inter and Juventus. Now, scouting doesn't necessarily mean interested. Everybody's interested in everyone. If Arsenal are looking for a winger, then he has to have, doing all right at Frankfurt. He has to have been alerted and been on some sort of list that we're going to monitor. We're going to see what you're good at, what you're bad at, how we can take you to the next level, and if we should move for you people. So we'll have to see how that one develops. Again, we've also been linked with Ivan Ndika, I believe, again, people, as seen here. Roma's also interested in him, so we're going to have to watch that, as, we could do with a centre-back, if you could, left-sided centre-back. He's drawing interest from Roma, he's drawing interest from Arsenal, and his contract is running down, so that's another one that's going to have to be let go at a cut price. Arsenal have made a 64 million operating loss in 2021-22. That's down from 81 million in the previous year. Our wage bill is also down 34 million. So again, that just shows you we've taken the short-term pain for long-term gain. Hopefully we can do better, in that regards, and bring in players who are worth the money and just use our resources a lot better. That has nothing to do with transfers, people. I just thought that would be nice. Don't forget, at the time of making this video, I'm doing a watch along for Ghana versus Uruguay and also Cameroon versus Brazil 10 minutes before kickoff. So that's 2:50 UK time and 6:50 UK time. If you're not in the UK, folks, adjust your clocks, use your common sense, people. Let's see if there's any other news. Shout out Danny Alves, but this seems to just be general Arsenal news. Arsenal have announced more merchandise, and at Christmas they're taking more money than we've got, really and truly, people. Between that, bills, Christmas, it's a tough one, even for us content creators. That's why you lot need to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and appreciate all your support. We've been linked with Hakan Çalhanoğlu once again of Inter Milan, people. His contract is also running down. He looks like Ozil. He's of the same descent as Ozil. He's a bit of a playmaker like Ozil, but I'm not sure there's any credibility in that. But for what it's worth, it will take 30 million allegedly to, get his signature. Again, we've heard all this Mudryk stuff. Again, we've heard him like stuff on Instagram, say he couldn't say no to Arsenal, do several interviews. It's long now, isn't it, people? So you have that. So that's Hakan, that's Mudryk on goal.com. Arteta is keen on retaining Cedric Suarez, obviously, because we need to look after bodies. Apparently, Cedric will push for a move. We've been linked with a sensational move for Ismael Bennacer, where we've already mentioned that. Arsenal won't sell Mohammed El-Nene in January. Again, it makes no sense. Us and Manchester United have also been linked with 16-year-old Scottish wonder kid Jack Wiley from Rangers. Arsenal have joined PSG in the race to sign Ibrahim Abamba. We're going back a bit. We have previously been linked with Nico Williams of Bilbao, so that shows you we're looking at wide players as well, people. And another one, Juventus are not ready to give up on Gabriel. Cody Gakpo has responded to Arsenal links. Again, check out my transfer news playlist. We've spoken about that. Let's go back a couple more. We were linked with Pulisic. That one seems like nonsense. We've also been linked with Leandro Paredes, who had an offer from Arsenal but wanted to give his word to Juventus. Allegedly, they want to shop him back to PSG. So, January is a reactive market. Very few players are available. In a nice way, no manager wants to sign players in January because you would have done what you needed to do in the summer. Obviously, a lot of players are not getting game time, want to leave, want to try new experiences, injuries or lack of squad depth. These are all reactive. January is a reactive market. So, again, if there's the Paredes is. I know he's not playing very well at the moment and stinking up the place in the World Cup, but Rodrigo de Paul, Tielemans, his contract. I'm just giving examples of potential situations that Arsenal or anyone could exploit. So we'll have to see. For me, hopefully we can sign a central midfielder. If we can bring in a winger, that's even more boost for our chances of maybe getting the title. I don't check the Premier League title. I don't know where Arsenal are at though, people. And if we could sign a left-sided centre back, why not? But in relation to transfer news, people, any other news that emerges, you can rest assured that your boy will have you covered. But for now, we've got nothing more to say. most importantly, appreciative of all the support, appreciative for you listening. Again, please comment your opinions, whether it's during the live chat when this premieres or if you've caught it on a rerun. Most importantly, with it being Friday, I hope you've all had a great week. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good health. And in relation to your dreams, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and goals, I wish you all the luck. Thank you for supporting. Make sure you've hit the like button, you're commenting, you're turning on your notifications, and you're subscribing. Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe. Check out my playlist. I'm going to love and leave you lot, people. I'm out. Appreciative. Stay blessed.
There's always that active red light defending. I think it's like